Hello Blazers, it is your boy Ramen, your favorite neighborhood Russian. Hi guys, welcome to a brand new video. In today's video guys, we're doing yet another Russian Q&A. Once again, I went on my Instagram and I asked you guys if you have any sort of personal questions to me or questions about Russia, and I'm gonna be responding to the best ones in this video. Now in today's episode, there's gonna be a lot of very heavy and very important questions, so I just wanna start out on a very lighthearted note here, okay? First question is YouTube your only source of income or do you have more jobs? And this is not the only question I got like this. I got a couple of people who asked me if I have a real job apart from YouTube. Now it's not just my grandmas and my all of my relatives asking this and wondering when I'm gonna get a real job. And now it's my subscribers as well. It's getting really grim. No, unfortunately guys, I do not have any other job and I don't even have any other sources of income apart from YouTube or Patreon or whatever. So yeah, my life is extremely sad guys. You know, please continue supporting me or else you don't want to know. Love your style. What is the shopping like where you live, or do you shop mostly online? Yes, I do shop online mostly. When you live in a provincial, technically, city like Chelyabinsk in Russia, you don't get much thrift stores out there. I mean, you do have like regular like H&M and Zara or whatever, but that's as far as it really goes. We don't even have like a Tommy Hilfiger or a Polo store or something in our city. Not even talking about like Gucci or whatever. You know, Chelyabinsk is not about that. Nobody has the money to buy Gucci in the city. Let's be fair. Let's be honest. You know, Moscow, St. Petersburg, of course, they have the drip, but Chelyabinsk, you know, you gotta get what you can get, you know. You work at a factory for 20,000 rubles per month, you don't really have the time or the money to cop Gucci, so. Is internet access in Russia as easy as it is in the States, such as buying things or browsing? A great question, because this is actually gonna tie in with my sponsorship of this video, but no, it's not as easy, not as free as in the States. I mean, the Russian government is literally trying to ban things left and right. They tried to ban Telegram, a famous messaging app. There's talks about like banning or restricting YouTube in some way all the time, like every single year. And actually quite a few websites have been banned over the years, and actually there's nothing really that I use that is banned, but I have some friends who code and work with like foreign companies, and they say that constantly in order to like work they need to use VPNs, etc., because some websites that they need to use are banned in Russia for some bogus reasons. So I guess, you know, it's not as free as in the States. Now before we get to the rest of the questions in this video, I would like to tell you guys about the sponsor of today's video, Surfshock Alert. Surfshock is a company that has been supporting my channel for a while now, and I've been using their VPN for a while now, and now they actually have a new service called Surfshock Alert, and the point of the service is to let you know if some of your data, like for example your credit card number, your email, your social security number, pretty much anything that is important to you has been leaked online as a result of some sort of data breach. Now I guess just like every internet user, I've also been breached before. My data has been leaked online. For me it happened two times. First was the PlayStation Network leak that happened a while ago, and also there was a little private leak, I guess you could say, in which actually the affiliate network that I'm in with YouTube actually got hacked, and a ton of our information was put online. So I know what it's like, and when your data is out there, for example your password, it's pretty easy for hackers to see that and use it to hack your account. And for me as a YouTuber, that's the last thing I want. And this is exactly what Surfshock Alert is for. It doesn't only show where your information has been leaked to, but also shows what exactly has been leaked so that you can take action and, for example, change your password in order to minimize the risks that come with your data being out there. If this sounds like something that might be useful to you, then make sure to go ahead to surfshock.deal/NFKRZ alerts and use my code on the screen to get 75% off of a 1-year plan, plus 3 extra months for free, and a VPN subscription from Surfshock for free as well. And VPN's great too. I've been using it for a long while, and actually Surfshock Alert has the exact same features. For example, you can use it on an unlimited amount of devices, which I think is great, and it's actually not something that every service out there offers. So once again, if you want to ensure your internet safety and also support my channel, then go over to surfshock.deal/NFKRZ alert, use my code, and ensure that nothing that really matters to you is out there and can be used by these very, very bad people. Thanks to Surfshock Alerts once again for sponsoring this video, and let's get on with it. Now here's one of the biggest questions in today's video, something I would like to discuss for a little bit, is people in general are wondering what is going on right now with the protest situation in Russia with Navalny, what is going on with the entire thing. Watch my previous video on it for context, but basically there's been huge anti-governmental, anti-Putin protests recently in Russia, and well, the situation right now, I'm giving you an update if you didn't know. Alexei Navalny, which is one of the Russian oppositional leaders, one of the biggest Russian oppositional figures, he's been jailed. He got jailed for 2.5 years, and essentially we'll not be hearing from him in a while now. And there's been actually multiple protests since. There's been like 2 protests since I last reported on this situation, and essentially I honestly do not know what's gonna happen, but it's pretty clear to me that countries like Russia and Belarus are not the kind of countries where peaceful protests really work. And I'm not trying to say that, you know, we should incite violence or do anything. Obviously, I'm for completely peaceful legal protests myself. Russia isn't South Korea, you know, where a bunch of people went out on a protest and the president had to resign. Every time we look back in Russian history, every time there's been massive regime change or something in the country, it's always been a result of a revolution, of a violent protest, and unfortunately, it's the sad truth. The Russian government has a very tight grip on the Russian law enforcement, etc. Essentially, there's not gonna be massive change from what's going on right now, you know, it's not like Putin's gonna resign or something like that, or Navalny is gonna be, you know, freed. What's going on is that because of these protests, because of the entire movement happening, a lot more people are finding out about the situation in the country. A lot of people learned about, you know, the real scale of the corruption, etc, etc. And essentially what's going on is that more and more people are being educated. Like I said already, my parents, for example, my grandparents even, used to be very, very like pro-Putin, pro-government. Now they hate him. I don't know what happens, but it happens. There is a slight societal change, and I actually got a question related to this as well, asking if Putin is actually super popular. I feel like his popularity level has dropped significantly. Not even just because of the recent situation with Navalny and his video on you know, the so-called Putin's palace, but also the constitution change, the Russian pension reform, which raised the retirement age. The Russian government has been largely doing mostly unpopular things for the last 4 years or so. We just gotta stay strong spiritually and educate people, and hopefully it will lead to something decent. Now here's a couple of good questions as well that I need to address, as a couple of people asked me about Navalny himself, and people asked me if I support his positions, if I support him, apart from his critiques of the government, etc. And a whole bunch of people asked me about Navalny's old questionable statements and positions, which is true. So here's the thing, Alexei Navalny, you know, the oppositional leader in Russia right now, his current position, he's mostly like a center-right liberal. That's what he is. He wants a capitalist democracy with strong borders. But in the past, Navalny used to be a nationalist and was actually a member of some sort of nationalist party. And not only that, but he's also had a blog on which he used a lot of anti-Semitic and homophobic slurs to describe certain people, and it's kind of yikes. And he's made a couple of as part of the nationalist party, he's made a couple of even advertisement, like sort of kind of propaganda videos on how to be a good nationalist kind of thing. So that was about like almost or over 10 years ago now, and honestly, I really do not know how to feel about it, because that's the last thing I would ever support. But I do support his fight against corruption, and I really like that he's raising the awareness of the Russian people about the situation overall. But I honestly do not know. I do not know if he's actually changed his views and became less radical, or if he's like playing an optics game and he's actually still like a nationalist who's just pretending to be more reasonable, or pretending to be like a regular lib. One thing that's pissing me off though is that this point of Navalny being a Nazi is very often used now by Russian propaganda, even pro-Russian propaganda in the West, to paint him as like being even worse than Putin. You know, this guy's critiquing Putin, he's even worse, he's a Nazi. And I've actually seen that take in my comments on my video about the protests. I've seen quite a lot of people comment, oh, you support this Navalny guy, he's a Nazi, Putin all day, Putin 2020, you know. So yeah, it is true that he has a questionable past that I condemn, but it really annoys me that the point of Navalny is a Nazi is being used to deflate and destroy all any actual points he's making against the government, and all of his investigations, etc., essentially are being smeared by this claim, oh, he's a Nazi, you trust this guy? Come on. So that's just really annoying to me personally, but I don't actually know. I want to believe that he's changed his opinions since then, that he's actually become less radical, because I've actually got questions if I support any other oppositional leaders, and honestly, the other oppositional leaders are actually worse. For example, we have like somebody like Mikhail Svetov, who's the leader of the Russian Libertarian Party. He's actually like pro-Trump, well, you know, all this sort of, he's like based. He has like actual neo-Nazis come in his program and stuff like that. So that guy, I don't think I will support that guy, because maybe Navalny was just saying nationalist shit like 10 years ago. This guy is saying it right now, okay? So yeah, personally, of course, I condemn everything that Navalny said in the past, but I just want to believe that he's actually doesn't hold those views anymore, but I do not know, man. You could never know. But I don't think it's something that should be used to destroy the legibility of some of his claims, though. How do you think Russia can improve its relationship with the West in the next century? I'd say stop invading countries. That's like a safe bet, in my opinion. I think it's gonna work. Ukraine, Georgia, you know, just stop invading countries. I think people will like you. That's just my opinion, though. What has been the prettiest place you visited in Russia and outside Russia? The prettiest place in Russia, I would say, as far as like the city goes, would be St. Petersburg, in my opinion. That's the prettiest place. I mean, it's like built to look like a European city, so I like it. It's really cool, but it has its own charm. Nature-wise, I think the prettiest place in Russia is actually Sochi, which I've been to recently. You know, palm trees, the Black Sea, can't really beat that. And outside Russia, the prettiest place I've ever been to was probably Rome, Italy. My last trip, actually, I took before coronavirus. Amazing, insane, blew my dick off. Love it, love it. I want to go with Italy again. It's so sick. I got a whole ton of questions asking me if I would ever move to another country and what kind of country it would be. For me, it's gonna be probably Europe, because or Canada, because if I was really considering it, I feel like Canada or Europe is a better bet for, you know, just the education, the healthcare seems better. You know, America be like, I broke my leg, now I owe $50 billion to my insurance company. I don't want to live like that, right? I used to have like dreams of America, now I think it's an actual dystopia, so I mean, it's still really cool or whatever. I want to visit, but I don't think I'd immigrate to America. Not unless I become so rich I don't have to care about that regular people stuff, but I don't think that's happening. Is anti-Semitism still really rampant in Russia, or hasn't gotten better? I feel like it's pretty rampant because it's a thing that's very much been cultivated in the USSR, so a lot of people of, well, the USSR had a weird thing. On one side, the USSR was like, yeah, we love the Jews, you know, they're just like rightful citizens of the USSR as anybody else, but then they also would have pogroms, which would destroy the Jews, like literally Holocaust mode. So there's definitely some anti-Semitism from the older generation because of the Soviet sort of climate. I've heard that take from some of my family members, oh, that Jew Lenin came and ruined everything. And the new generation, I feel like the majority of people are pretty sane, nobody cares, but there's of course, you know, that based, Groyper-based, Paul 4chan browsing, you know, kind of people who unfortunately get succumbed by the entire far-right conspiracy of the Jews. So anti-Semitism in Russia is it's there, you know. I mean, I have a friend who's Jewish, right? And one day he told me he's Jewish, right? But before he told me, we literally had like a 2-hour conversation. He was like trying to probe me and see if I'm anti-Semitic or not. We were discussing, and I guess only when he realized I'm not, he was like, okay, I have a secret to tell you, I'm Jewish. So it's fucked up, man. I guess, yeah, anti-Semitism exists in Russia, when a friend of mine had to literally like, he had to sort of walk around the topic and wonder if I'm anti-Semitic or not. And he thought I would actually like disown him as a friend or something just because he's Jewish. It's ridiculous. Would you be willing to move to Moscow or St. Petersburg if you're not willing to move to EU? Yeah, but probably that's what's gonna end up happening, because first of all, the climate's better, it's not as cold all the time, just the infrastructure's better, the cities are more developed, more money is being poured into the city, just the overall life with a lot of different events and stuff going on just seems slightly more interesting. So yeah, if you wanna be in Russia, if you want to be in a center of everything, Moscow or St. Petersburg is the place you want to be. And yeah guys, I guess that is going to be pretty much it for today's video though. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you guys did, please make sure to slap that like button on it as well, guys. If you want to support my channel, make sure to once again go to the link in the description to my Patreon, donate to it, I would gladly appreciate it. You can also buy my YouTubes as well. Thank you guys once again for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.